Hello, everybody. I'm gonna be doing a Halifax Transit bus tier list. S tier being my favorites, and D tier being the worst. So here we have some Halifax Transit buses, and I'm gonna rate them. So here we go. First up is the old Excessa buses, painted in the wave livery. These were retired a few years ago, and these ones were actually pretty good. I did see them a lot, but I never really had a bunch of interest in them, so let's do B tier. Next is the new Excessa buses. These ones were also pretty mid, so B tier. These ones were pretty much the same. Classic articulateds. These ones were high floor. I remember my parents trying to get me out of a baby stroller on these buses, and they almost couldn't because, like, they had steep stairs, like, getting on. Like, all the classics had steep stairs. So, we're probably gonna do a B tier as well on this one. You know, if this could be the best one in B tier. D40LFs. These are the best buses. If you like these buses, if they are your favorite, you are fucking correct. These are the best buses, and they shall be protected at all costs. They deserve to be respected, and I'm sad that Halifax Transit doesn't really give a shit about them right now. They're retiring them. We still have the some 2006 D40LFs, some 2007 D40LFs. All of the 2008 D40LFs, except for 1141, which suffered fire damage, and all the 2009 D40LFs. These are Chad. These are the best buses. They are superior, and they sound amazing. Also, I don't know how New Flyer actually made these so good in the first place. S tier all the way. LFS Arctics. These are nice. These are nice. I like sitting by the Slinky a lot, even though if I'm taking other buses, I mostly sit at the back of the bus. It feels nice. And I like listening to the engine. So I'm probably gonna put this one in A tier. These ones are really nice. New LFS. These ones are also pretty nice. However, I'm sad that they're replacing the D40LFs instead of giving them another rebuild. However, the D40LFs aren't really clapped out at this point. As of the making of this video, they're not really clapped out. Some of them are, and some of them have already been retired. All of the 2002, 2004, and 2005 D40LFs are being retired, have been retired. And yeah. So I'm just gonna put these ones in A tier. XD40s. Anything that's new. I'm a sucker for anything that's New Flyer. I am a sucker for anything that's New Flyer. A tier. Metro X Nova Bus LFS. These ones are also pretty good. The livery is nice, I guess. They're pretty much the same thing as the LFS. A tier. First gen LFS. I added these ones, not just because they were a Halifax Transit bus, and not because they were retired at the same time as the classics. These caught on fire. These started fires. Not because of rowdy passengers lighting a cigarette in these buses. No, the engines caught fucking fire multiple times. And what did Halifax Transit do about it? Pretty much nothing except rebuild or scrap the bus. Like, I think like 2 or 3 of them caught fire, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these ones, C tier. 2004 D40LFs. S tier. Nothing to say, S tier. These are the best sounding D40LFs. New ex-Victoria Transit, new looks. I added these new looks because they're ugly pieces of shit. Like, I don't even know how General Motors even decided to like make this bus in the first place. I know they were trying to replace the old looks, but they could have done so much better in the design of the bus. Like, I understand why they're nicknamed fishbowls by the bus fan community, but for me, ugly piece of shit. Like, I didn't want to make its own shitty tier because I felt I would feel bad for everybody else that likes new looks. These looked pretty ugly. I wouldn't be the one driving around in a new look in my neighborhood. Like, I'd rather be driving a fucking PT Cruiser instead of a new look. D tier. Same with the Metro X Gravel Titans. These, the front of the bus, looks like a fucking, like, semi-truck. And then when Gravel should have realized, like, oh shit, we're making a bus, not a truck. And so what they did was just put the bus body on, like behind the front of the truck, and added a bus door and an accessible wheelchair door at the back. These ones are, however, they're slightly better than the new looks. Nova Bus Classics. They're shit. They look pretty ugly as well. However, I do have some sympathy on these ones because, I don't know. One of them was painted in Halifax Transit livery I do like, so I'm putting them in C tier. Hello, everybody. I didn't add the DE60 LFRs to the tier list because Halifax Transit only got 2 of these buses, and if I actually put them on the tier list, I would put them in S tier. So, yeah, that's pretty much all. There's not a lot to say about the classics. I forgot I added this one, but anything that's wave livery I'm a sucker for, so A tier. Metrolink D40LFs. They're pretty much the same. Like, they're the same as D40LFs, but they're they're a lot better on the interior. The fluffy seats, no, the comfy seats, the armrests. These were nice. S tier. I'm a sucker for anything that's D40LFs. Old MCI classics. I added these ones because they're also ugly pieces of shit. The front of the bus is what gets me, and the back of the bus as well. The only thing I like about it is the 6V9 2TA engine. That's all. That's all I like about this one. The front and back is just so bad. Ugly piece of shit. D tier. D40LF. Baby bus. Fucking baby bus. I love these. I remember actually, when I was like free, me and Steve, my dad, Steve, we were gonna take the 55, down to like Spider Lake. Near Spider Lake Road. And we ended up getting one of the D30s. I recall falling down and hurting my knee after we got off the bus, but I remember riding these. These were nice. S tier. Saab Scania N112s. I added these ones also, because they're a bus, and not really, they're ugly pieces of shit. I just decided, well, these are detested. These were detested by bus drivers. Bus drivers absolutely hated working on them, and pretty much what I've heard, they were just unreliable as hell. So, the story of these buses was from the early 1980s. Nova Scotia wanted to make like a bus manufacturing place in Halifax or some place in Nova Scotia. So they partnered up with the European company Saab Scania, which at the time they were one company. Now they're 2 separate companies, Saab and Scania. And so they decided to, just make this bus for the North American market. They ended up actually not building a facility in Nova Scotia, instead building some in the United States, closed that down, and went back to Europe. Power move. So when these buses were delivered, all of these were retired by like 2000. these buses were very unreliable. They were pain. These were a pain to maintain, and some drivers were happy that these were retired. I actually spoke to one driver at Scotia Square, and they didn't really like driving the New Flyers instead of driving the Nova buses. It's fine. It's fine. I can handle people's opinion on the D40LF. All right, these ones are going to C tier. These ones, the new Metro X Suburbans, the ones that are slightly newer than the Glavels. These ones are a lot better. These ones are a lot better than the Glavels. They don't look like a fucking truck, which I love. However, with the Glavels, they really fucked it up. Like, really, they really did. But Halifax Transit should really repaint these into the bold attitude. I would say that they would really look nice. All right. They would really look nice in the bold attitude livery, and I would love to put these in A tier. These ones are really nice. And so that concludes our Halifax Transit bus tier list. Also, bold attitude livery goes into S tier. Wave livery goes into A tier. The yellow and blue stripe goes into B tier. And the green and blue stripe also goes into B tier. The Metro X also goes into B tier. The Metro Link livery goes into A tier. And yeah, that's it. Also, the thing that I also don't like about the first gens is that the font on the side of the bus, when the font, like the lettering for Metro Transit, it could be so much better. Anyways, that's all.